The first week of school is always tough for any new student, but for Emily it felt like walking into a battlefield. She had just transferred to Lincoln High, carrying with her the quiet hope of making friends and fitting in. She kept her head down in the crowded hallways, clutching her books close, wishing she could blend into the background. But some people don't let you stay invisible for long. It started with whispers, mocking laughs, and cruel nicknames. Emily was the new girl, and for bullies, that made her an easy target. She ignored the teasing, reminding herself that she had survived harder challenges before. But what she didn't expect was how far some of them would go. One afternoon in the hallway, a group of boys cornered her. Their ringleader, Jake, smirked and leaned too close. Before she could step away, one of them grabbed her chest and laughter erupted from his friends. The hallway froze. Emily's face burned with humiliation, her eyes wide in disbelief. For a moment, it felt like the world was crushing her spirit, but then something inside her shifted. Emily had trained for years in martial arts, a discipline her late father had introduced to her. Her father had always told her, "Strength isn't about hurting others. It's about protecting yourself when no one else will." His words echoed in her mind as she straightened her back and looked Jake dead in the eye. The next second, the bully's smug expressions disappeared. With lightning precision, Emily blocked the next hand that reached for her and twisted it back until the boy yelped in pain. Her legs swept out, knocking another to the ground, and before Jake could react, she delivered a sharp strike to his chest, sending him stumbling against the lockers. The crowd that had gathered watched in stunned silence. But Emily didn't stop there. She stood tall, her voice steady, but filled with fire. "Touch me again, and you'll regret it. You think being cruel makes you strong. It makes you weak." The hall was quiet, students exchanging shocked glances. No one had ever seen Jake silenced like this before. Of course, the story didn't end with just one fight. The bullies were embarrassed, their pride shattered, and they tried to retaliate in subtle ways. Snide remarks, dirty looks, and whispered threats. Emily felt the weight of being singled out, but she also felt something else growing around her respect. Other students, once too scared to speak, began to admire her courage. Some even walked beside her in the halls, wanting to be part of the strength she represented. Her biggest challenge wasn't the bullies themselves. It was the fear of becoming like them. Each time she defended herself, she questioned whether she was losing the kindness her father had taught her. But one afternoon, a younger girl approached Emily in tears, confessing she was being picked on too. Emily knelt down, held the girl's shoulders, and told her, "You don't have to fight like me." Strength can also be saying no, standing tall, or asking for help. Never let them make you feel small. The principal eventually got involved when word of the incident spread through the school. Jake and his friends were suspended, but the damage to their reputations was permanent. For once, the bullies weren't feared, they were pitied. And Emily, the girl they had tried to humiliate, had become a symbol of courage. By the end of the semester, Emily had found her place, not by blending in, but by standing out. She wasn't just the new girl anymore. She was the girl who refused to be broken, the girl who reminded everyone that respect must never be demanded through fear, but earned through strength of character. The lesson lingered in the halls long after the incident. You never know the battles someone has fought, and you should never mistake quietness for weakness. Emily's story became more than just a fight in the hallway. It became a reminder that true strength lies in standing up, not just for yourself, but for others who can't. Emily sat in the nurse's office after the fight, her knuckles still red from impact. She wasn't suspended. The principal had seen enough security footage to know she had defended herself. Still, she worried what this meant for her future at the new school. The door creaked open, and to her surprise, a group of students stepped inside. The same ones who had stood frozen in the hallway earlier. One of the girls, Sarah, nervously spoke up. "Emily, what you did back there, it was brave. We're sorry we didn't step in. You didn't deserve that." Emily gave a small, tired smile. For the first time since moving, she felt seen. She wasn't just the new girl anymore. The next day, the hallways felt different. Whispers still followed her, but now they carried respect instead of mockery. Some kids gave her nods. Others simply moved out of her way. The bullies who once dominated the school walked with their heads down, too embarrassed to look anyone in the eye. But the story didn't end there. Jake, the leader, avoided Emily all week. His arrogance had crumbled after being humiliated. At home, his parents had been furious when the school called. For the first time, he wasn't feared, he was pitied. One afternoon, Emily found Jake sitting alone behind the gym. His usual crew had abandoned him. She could have walked away. She had every reason to hate him. But instead, she approached slowly. "You don't have to be that guy, Jake," she said softly. He looked up, surprised. "What do you mean? You don't have to hurt people just to feel strong. You saw what it got you. Nothing. You can do better than this." Jake didn't respond right away, but for the first time his expression wasn't cruel. It was thoughtful. Something in Emily's words struck deeper than any punch.